Hello everybody, welcome to your June 2nd edition of the TraderMerlin Show. Hope you had a great day out there today. I'm hoping that everybody was holding long AMC shares. Right, yeah, well, we'll look at that chart here a little bit later on. Hello Pepe and Ketut down in Indonesia. Good to have you with us. Ivzy, Jerry, Sue, Shadow One, Tombini. It sounds like a new one on the group there. So Les Gold and Thomasina as well. I have an updated list here. Well, I'm updating it as we speak. Remember, guys, we're going to do that's not the list I wanted to look at. Let me bring up the list here of the challenges for the month of June. For those that might be new, you are invited to join this as well. I am trying to do this every month where I set a challenge for myself. And you know what? It's always best when you have people in there. So I'm going to add to my challenge for the month of May, which was 100 push-ups a day. Any way you can do them, just got to do 100 a day. And then I'm adding 30 minutes a day, either playing my bass or studying German. And I see Catherine is on there with 1 hour of options training per day. Jerry's still going to do his crazy 7-mile run and 300 push-ups. Thomasina's working on rehabbing that ankle. That includes walks every day. Alan, probably the best entrant here. He says he's going to have a beer a day. Alan, I don't know whether you're cutting back or you're just trying to set a nice foundation for yourself. Brendan's got his 50 push-ups a day. I've got Sue is walking. Leslie's adding meditation to her. So if you guys would like to be on this list, and I'll bring it up occasionally just to encourage you along, let me know. You can email me at tradermerlin@gmail.com with whatever it is that you would like to be doing to add to that list, or type it in chat and hopefully I'll catch it and put it on the list. All right, that said, we have a pretty exciting show today. There's been a tremendous amount of volatility in the commodities space. Of course, there's so many lumber memes out there, but it all revolves around currencies, not necessarily commodities. Conveniently enough, there's a way for us to tie those two together, and that is commodity currencies. And of course, we've talked about this in the past, but it was probably, 2 years ago that we talked with David about commodity currencies. That said, let's bring on David Warner to talk about trading commodity currencies. David, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Merlin?
Fantastic. Any new additions to the wall? I always love checking your artwork behind you. We got Wonder Woman, which is always a good one to have up, and the Hulk Hogan there.
Yeah. No additions. Ice Cube up there, too, you know.
Did you say Ice Cube?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, talk about Charlie's Angels there. You got Hulk Hogan, Wonder Woman, and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Interesting mix. All right, cool.
No, yeah.
Nice. All right, well, give me your little update from your perspective on what's going on with regards to commodities and commodity currencies.
Commodity currencies have been hot, that's for sure. I've been looking at commodity currencies mostly against the Japanese yen. I'll try to share my screen here for just a moment. Yeah. Screen one, here we go. This is the Canadian versus the Japanese yen. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're loud and clear, and your picture's good.
And picture's good. All right. So I have been I like the commodity currencies against the Japanese yen right now. I'm starting to get a little nervous about currencies against the dollar, just because there's, you just have this scary taper word that's being thrown around from time to time, and I feel like the dollar's in a little bit more of a holding pattern. The Japanese yen, or Japan, Bank of Japan, has been a little dovish in their statements here lately, so I kind of continued Japanese yen weakness and bringing the yen back. I feel like I've been on your show for a little bit and I've been talking about yen. But
I remember years ago I created a great graphic. I'll see if I can dig it up while we're doing this. It was called the Yen Love Affair with David Warner. That was a great graphic. So maybe the love affair's back on.
It's on, man. It's on. Strong. It's on.
Okay.
And yeah, just like out of the commodity currencies, the one that has been the strongest lately are it's the Canadian dollar. The oil prices have been kind of on the rise, and I feel like the Canadian dollar correlation broke down a little bit, with the under the last administration, but I feel like that's coming back stronger. It's getting strong again. Like, this is just, kind of very simple price points in which I'm, kind of looking at just kind of, I'm only in kind of a buy mode, and like this could be just like moving it, a nickel at a time. So it's like 85 to 90, right. 90 to 95, something like that. But yeah, just penny nickel at a time. I'm only really in buy mode with this Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. So I'll just continue to chase it higher, not really looking left, and something like that. I know we're kind of running into this stuff over here, but yeah. What was going on in February 2018 has a little impact on, what I'm doing here today. So if it starts to turn over, starts to turn over, but it's it, man.
I'm glad you pointed out. So go back to that spot, because I like what you're talking about, to just show those highs, right? Because we know that for the most part, if we strip out the fact that this is a currency pair, if you look at price patterns, a lot of people will be focusing on that area where your cursor's on right now and thinking, it could have some difficulty. So does it change you at all? I mean, it's right around that 91, looks to be right around the 91-ish area. Does it change your area? Like, okay, maybe I'll lighten up a little bit, and if it breaks through it, I'll start to pile in more?
I'll just try to pile through this. Like right now, like I honestly, I don't really spend a lot of time looking left. I know it's
all good.
Weird for a lot of people. It's just the way I do. It's just more of kind of a chase price. And if something starts to turn over, it just turns over. But I don't really try to predict tops and bottoms. I've never really liked playing that game that much. So I've just chased things, and as long as I can just keep, and I'm just using price points. So it's like I did 90 to 91. I had a couple of these trades. I just tried like a 91, try to get to a 92. But even if it starts to kind of reverse from here, I'm going to be probably most likely buying the dips. CAD yen, AUD yen, any of these commodity currencies against the Japanese yen have a pretty, they kind of move with the stock market. So the stock market's up, they go up. Stock market's down, they go down. So until some major changes happen with those trends as well, I think I'm only going to be in buy mode, to be honest.
Yeah, no problem. And with Canadian dollar, I mean, how quickly do you, or how closely do you monitor gold? Because gold, coming off those $1,700 lows, sub $1,700 lows back in March and April, we're at 1,900 right now, actually just slightly above 1,900. And it's looking strong as a bull. Does that factor into this? If you see gold start to sell off aggressively, that maybe it changes your perspective on the Canadian dollar?
Yeah, definitely. But just overall, I think commodities have been, at least recently, they've been bullish. And so I kind of treat Canada, New Zealand, Australia, just all really the same thing for the most part. Mm-hmm. So I was gonna shoot. I can show you. Yeah, but yeah, for the most part, I'm looking at them the same. I'm going to be bullish on the Canadian dollar against the Japanese yen. More of those three against the Japanese yen than the dollar. The dollar has been making me just a bit nervous lately.
Yeah. Great question here from Serge. Serge says, how does David exit his position? So, you have specific rules that you follow. What is it that's your circuit breaker that you say, okay, even though you're riding the trend, and I strongly encourage that, I think the trend is your friend no matter what. At what point do you say, all right, maybe I'm wrong, trend's done, I'm out?
It's not that difficult. I think what I'm doing, it's always working price points. I'm not giving really too much away with what I'm doing here. But if I said I'm only going to be in a buy mode, and it's like the price is the entry, so the line is the entry, the line is the exit. So it's like red to purple or purple to red, and it's constant. And it's like I know there's 500 pips distance between those two spots, and then it's just a matter of what you want to do as a stop. If I'm using 50 pip stops, which is kind of one that I suggest a bit with moves like this, and it's like you're risking 50 to get 500. So it's like I buy at 90, I get out at 89.50, and then it gets to 90 again. I'm going to try it again, and you're just playing a numbers game. I remember 80 to 85. I've done these in the companion sessions, and this is one we talked about. And it's like you got multiple stop outs before you get it. It's like stopped out out again, stopped out again, stopped out again, and then it's like, if you're going 50 for 500, you don't have to really be right that often. If I'm going from penny to penny, 90 to 91, 91 to 92, then you only have 100 pips. Right. And then so your risk management's going to change a little bit. I don't know if you're still looking at my screen here.
Yep, we got it.
Yeah, so it's like if I'm using something like, if I'm trying to go from penny to penny, you only have 100. So what are you going to risk to get 100 pips? And it's like you're starting at a penny, you're getting out at a penny. So it's like, 90 to 91, and you can risk like 20, 25 pips. You're just playing a numbers game.
Right. And by the way, guys, this is an hourly chart. We switched from the daily to the hourly, just so you know the time frame.
Yeah, I just changed it hourly. And I was just going to kind of put some of the pennies in, and as long as we're in this, this bull run commodities, I've been looking for buy signals more than anything. So if it touches a penny, I'll buy. And as long as I'm looking at, the trend, for the most part, this day just reset because it's 5 o'clock, but I'll look at the trend. And if it kind of hits one of these penny points and the trend is green, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict right. I'm just going to say, okay, let's just continue to climb this, a penny at a time. And it's vice versa as well. If it starts to drop, I just start trying to move it. It's just a penny at a time, just depending on, the way you want to look at it.
Sure. But for getting out, is it like an all surge then another one? So when you're getting out there, is it an all or nothing? Is it kind of like, hey, I'm wrong on this one, I'll dump it, or you just?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, I'm going to, like, if I get stopped out and it gets back to the same spot, you just try it again. If you're doing 20 pips, you get 5 shots. You do it 25 pips, you got 4 shots. And, I don't have I'm teaching a class right now. I have a bunch of open trades. I don't have that platform pulled up, but I would show. It's just like I'm trying to scale in. But if I am trading multiple currencies, I try to get into like a scale in kind of all out, mentality. But
sure.
It's all chasing. I'll do a lot of price chasing. It's not necessary for everybody.
No, it's cool. Hey, and that's the beauty of it. I think everyone's got their own style, and I think learning little pieces about it. I think a lot of people are going to go, wait a minute, you don't look to the left. that's where history has been. You're going, no, for you.
Left freaks me out. I'm scared of it.
I guess you could make the analogy of don't look into your past. You just go forward and learn from the future. But
yeah.
So I had gold up here. Sorry, this was the dollar index. Let's go to, I'm going to bring up a chart of gold here just so you guys can put it in perspective. We talk about some of these commodity currencies. Obviously, gold is one of the major backbones for these commodity currencies, and crude oil. Now, crude oil continued its move. We talked about this as an ascending triangle with a breakout to the upside. That has happened. You can see it's been moving pretty good the last couple of days. How does the crude oil play into your commodity currencies trades?
Yeah, they're, I look at them all really the same. Like I kind of like, and it's not this way all the time, but I'm always under this assumption, well, if like one commodity is going up, I'm going to assume like they're all kind of going up, and I just have been kind of playing it that way because the commodity currencies, they typically all go up and down together. It's not very common that one is going up and another one is going down. And when I do lump them all together, like I don't really like look at, in class, they kind of like tie the gold correlation to Australia, and they try the oil correlation to Canada. And I just was like, I'll just kind of treat them both the same. But, speaking of, I'll just pull up gold. Can I take the screen?
Sure. Yeah, I have a blank screen for your videos. Your video's not coming through, but I have a picture of you anyway. So I have a picture of Dapper David in a tuxedo with a bow tie.
No, you got to get rid of that.
Hey, you know what? Apparently, people say you look like a rock star now, like an 80s rock band, I think was the comment. So
yeah, that could be, man. But I got a haircut, shaved my face. Now I can't even be on screen. But anyways, can you see my gold here?
I can.
Yeah. So like, this is just like it's just a broken up price point, $25 at a time. And it's, just kind of the same thing. If I can get to, it is what it is. If I can get to one of these, the $25 kind of marks are potential, whether you want to lose in buy areas, sell areas. And it's like, if I can get to one or above one, I'm going to try to get to the next. And just try to, it's just kind of a way to kind of climb something, but you're using kind of a price points as potential spots, and it's just broken up by quarters.
It's interesting. If you keep that up there, I'll share with the viewers something interesting about my past. I have this belief system, which I think David definitely echoes, judging by his price charts. If you look at all those red lines, I want you to think of this as, think of it like a high-rise building. And each of those is a floor, right? So you've got from the first floor to the second floor to the third. They're all pretty evenly spaced. And of course, when David's going through and he's using, either the quarter methodology, the 10-cent methodology, however he's structuring those floors, they're all the same distance apart. And it doesn't always work that they hit. I do believe that they're going to hit more often than not, simply because of whole number psychology and the way that we think as humans. But one way I love to look at this is, as this thing is stair-stepping up, and that's the price chart, it's just breaking through the ceiling of the floor above it and establishing that new, that ceiling it broke through as the floor for the next floor. And we can play those ranges, we can play the pullbacks into those zones, but I always love that analogy for myself when I started, just like call it the high-rise building theory, which is essentially what David's looking at. It's just that these floors are the exact same height all the way down, and there's a pattern that starts to develop within that structure. So I'm going to throw that out there. My weird stories, I know.
No, it's good. It's good. I don't do well if I can't trade within some type of structure, and it helps me out. I've been doing it this way since I've learned it this way, and
well, there's an air of simplicity that I like about your style. You know, it's not that complex. You know, you have a very basic structure to it. You're saying here's step up. Question that came in from Jerry. He says, David, how many chances, examples in a row or in the same pair do you finally just say, you know what, I've lost X amount in a row, I'm going to move on to another pair?
Do I still have the screen?
Yep, you do.
All right. So I use scanners to kind of figure out what I want to do. So it's not just basically looking at the chart. So I got into like a CAD yen trade earlier. I did 90 to 91. Now I'm trying 91 to 92, but like I do a lot with momentum. So it's like when I get to these price points, I use this as basically my multiple time frame analysis. What was happening 48 hours ago? Is it still happening 24, 4, 60, 15? And I'm just basically trying to chase momentum. So before I even get into a trade, typically I want to see all green or all red. So if I can see things are kind of mixed now, which makes sense because it's kind of rollover. So you're going to get that mix. Mm-hmm. But when I start the day, I'll look for all green, all red. If it's all green, I try to buy it. If it starts to kind of change in the middle of the day, I just use the same price. Like, so it's like 91. Like if I bought at 91 and I got stopped out, it's got to get to 91 again before I buy it again. It's either 91 or 90, just depends. Like, but if I'm going to buy it, I have to see basically green momentum. And then like in the example that I'm giving you, it's got to be around like a penny. Mm-hmm. So, and if that changes, I can't see right. If I get stopped out and just continues to drop, I've given up until it gets back to where I got in the first time, essentially. Nice. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. It's I mean, for you, it's just a set of rules. Like, for example, I have it where if I lose 3 trades in a row, I'll just stop trading for the day. I don't necessarily have one for a specific stock, but again, if I lose 3 in a row, I'm done anyway. So it's just a way for me to put on my circuit breakers and my style.
Yeah. That's cool.
Serge is asking, and this is an interesting one. I know that for a lot of people, the question is, when do we get into something? And I think that this goes back to everybody's personal temperament. And what do you say by getting into something? I'll bring up my crude oil chart here just to give you that as an example. You guys remember we talked about this breakout pattern here on crude oil where it had an ascending triangle. And my opinion was it was probably going to break to the upside. And lo and behold, we have over the last couple of days. The question is, when do you buy in? Do you buy in exactly as it closes above, or the second the candle prints above $67 on crude oil, or do you wait for a closing candle? And I think that there is no real definitive answer, in my opinion. It's just subject to each person's, trading style. So what's your take on that? If you've got the whole, your penny increment there at 100, is it as soon as it hits 100? Does it have to close above that?
I don't really wait for closes. When I try to teach classes, I do the whole like close for confirmation if it makes people feel a little bit safer. But sometimes when you're waiting for that close, it closes so far away from the price that you wanted to get in that you just you missed out, So I'll look at this. I don't know if I still have the screen.
You do. Yeah, just keep going. I'll always share your screen.
Okay, so I'll look at this, and if it's kind of if I am just you talk about oil, it's funny, I kind of had that already kind of mapped out $1 at a time. Mm-hmm. And if it's just kind of right around one of those price points, and it's I'm in a green trend, I don't really wait for candles to close personally. It doesn't mean that that's the way to do it. Sometimes not waiting for a candle to close, you're like, damn, I should have waited for a candle to close. And the next time you wait for a candle to close, and then it just took off. It's the trading gods are watching you, and whatever you do is, who knows? But it is like that. But I mean, this is one I would be probably more into the buy camp, and it's like I'm just going to try to buy around those, and whether you're going to take it like $1 at a time, it's like, you know what the reward is, like what are you going to risk to get it? You're going to take a couple hits, but you're just hoping that out of 3 or 4 shots or out of 5 shots, whatever you're using, if I'm trying to make $1 is 20 cents, whatever it is.
You mentioned in your companion session for your signature series that you had today that you were looking at specific trade setups and making some trades. What other things were you looking at? I know you looked at the CAD yen. That obviously is on your favorite romance list right now. But what else was hot or trades that you made today?
Mostly, I mean, over the last couple of days, because it's 2 days, we were focusing mostly on commodity currencies. Like I did AUD, USD yesterday. We did CAD yen, here today. But it's like overall, I can see that it's a little bit mixed right now. But I like the plays of buying things against the Japanese yen. I like to play. That's probably my one. I know like some of these are a little bit down. Euro and pound didn't really have a great day today, but I would be trying to buy dips of these currencies. Pound, I'll just talk about the pound because it's obviously one of my favorite currencies on the planet as well. There's been, I think pound has suffered over the last couple of days talking about all these like variants and all this COVID-19. Just give me a COVID-19 excuse to drop something, which I can't stand. But they just, I think we'll see it over the next couple of weeks. But like, I think the UK is on track to be like 100% open, the entire country, by like June 21st or something. I don't know if I have that date down packed. They've had zero deaths today. Fall to zero, so it's like we're ready just to rock and roll. I think I'm trying to buy pound euro more than try to sell it. But you're looking at a penny at a time. I don't know if I still have the screen right.
You do.
I do still have the screen. So it's like if I got into like a pound yen, which is like the beast, it's not for everybody. But I think that this is just another one of these currency pairs that you could just kind of just continue kind of this stair step up. I have try to remove some of these. Even if I was doing that same thing that I was showing you with the CAD yen, where it was like 500 at a time, I think that this is another one. If I just show you like dime to nickel type trading, and if you just kind of go through it, what's going to happen here pretty soon. I was looking at this one earlier. We're getting towards the levels that, like, this is Brexit. Remember that day?
I remember.
I was there, dude, with you.
Yeah, we did a special show. That was actually an awesome show.
That was a great show. That was a great time. But I think that we're going to have that headline here pretty soon. It's coming. It's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen this year. But we're going to have, pound trades at levels that we haven't seen since the Brexit vote. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. It's coming.
Yeah.
But it's just another one. It's like if I go, I know I see these highs over here, but I don't know. I may get into some weirdness over here, but if it kind of falls over here, it doesn't mean I'm going to start trying to sell it right now because the overall trend since here has been up. But it's just this is just another one of these currencies that is kind of, I feel, is built for these like 500 pip at a time, type moves. Doesn't require a lot of action. I know that's not for everybody. Some people are like, oh, that's so boring, but I don't care that it's boring.
Yeah, you know what's also boring? Keeping your money in a savings account and knowing it's getting interest, but if we can increase that interest rate of return, then even better. Boredom is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. But this is just kind of another one of those kind of action spots, I feel like, a little bit, but it's like, am I going 55 to 60? And I think we can get there. If the UK, things pick up, and I still feel like, there's still the, I know pound I've been talking about it a while, but it's just, again, it's only buy mode. And I remember being on this show, even talking about it down here. I'm like, I'm going 130 to 140, 135 to 1, and I just continue just over and over and over and over. Just
I was going to ask you about that. Like you were like, if I could tell everybody one thing, it's buy the freaking pound, buy the pound. And it's been months that you've been saying that, and there was a period where I wanted to ask you about that back in April and May, where we were kind of traversing sideways. It started to look weak right near the end of April, but all of a sudden we're back on the uptrend. Do you still have that same conviction that, hey, it's all about pound here, keep buying pound?
I'm pounding it. Yes. I still, dude. I'm still in that camp, and I do like this. I will tell you, this stuff sucks when I get into things like that. There's nothing I can do about it.
No.
But it's just always in the buy mode. And if 55 doesn't hold, it's like if it dips below 55, gets back to 55, I'm going to try it again. But if you just went back time, just say I only take buys at any one of these price points, and ask yourself, like, how many shots, if I did 50 pips, how many does it take for me to get the 500?
Right.
And I think the math is going to work in your favor.
Nice, I like it. Ryan says, "Hi Ryan. If there are any new people out there, hit that subscribe button as well. That always helps me out, and you'll get informed when we do these shows every day." Ryan says, "If you want excitement, go to the casino." Look, I don't even think you need to go that far. All you got to do is follow these morons on social media and buy GameStop and AMC and Nokia. Here's AMC today.
Yeah, I had a buddy that a guy I met over this last weekend. He got in the AMC. He's like, I tripled my money in like 3 days, and I'm like, yeah, maybe we should start taking some profits. He's like, no way, it's going to $100,000 a share. I'm like, oh my god, dude. All right, we'll see.
It's great. I mean, look, guys, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we would all love to catch something like this movie you see on AMC. I mean, it's fun when it happens to you, but planning your trades and trying to make a trade where you are just hoping that you get one of these moves like AMC, you'll be broke. You'll be in the cemetery of traders very, very quickly. So I like what David's talking about, which is much more systematic, much more structured, much more just follow a specific, simple set of rules. In David's case, I would say he's actually, from my perspective, dumbing down those sets of rules so it's very, very simple. Mine is actually a bit more complex, but that doesn't mean that anybody's style is better than anybody else's. Bottom line is, are you making money and are you achieving your goals in the financial markets? And really, that's your plan.
That's it.
Talk to me. Okay, so for those that are Online Trading Academy graduates, you may have received an email here. I don't know why I don't get your video when you switch back. I just have a blank screen, but I have pictures for you.
Oh, man.
Oh, we don't get to see that Bon Jovi look you got going on in there.
Wait, maybe I turn on. Actually, let me see.
All right. Well, as he tries to fix it, there you go. I get your camera. Perfect. Now I can do us both. There we go. David and I have had the opportunity of working together on education projects, whether that's forex or doing things about the Fed and even doing other classes. For those who are on the Trading Academy graduates, there is a symposium that we're doing this Friday. Unfortunately, it's only for Online Trading Academy graduates, and I think you have to have you check your email box for that one and register for that. But David and I are going to be doing something called the Everything Bubble. So we'll do a little bit of a symposium talking about the housing bubble. We'll talk about the bond market bubble, and we'll talk about the equity market bubble. And it's going to be David Warner, Bashir Chaya, Bob Dunn, Jeff Manson, Sean Reed, and myself. So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll even do a little thing on crypto. So I don't want to ask you what you're going to talk about. I feel like we'd be stealing the thunder of the show.
Well, listen, man, I look forward to that because I mean, give me the next bubble because I'm more of a chase price, don't look left guy anyways. Left freaks me out. So if something just gives me a one-way direction, not having to try to pick a top or bottom, I'm all about it, man. Yeah,
bubbles, I guess from that perspective, bubbles are great because when things pop, not only they trend, but they trend very quickly.
Yeah, dude. So, it's crazy because I thought that we would already have some more of significant corrections, but that big taper word is coming.
Yeah.
And when that comes, I feel like, we're going to probably see a lot. I don't know, you never know, but as soon as that hint comes, I think there'll be a lot of profit. Could be a lot of profit taking in the markets. And it's not going to be pretty, I think, when we start taking away the punch bowl.
Well, I mean, you look at what's been going on with regards to stimulus and other the $6 trillion coming in. We've got this dollar chart here, which I'll bring up on my side. That's the Dixie, which of course is the dollar index, which is certainly, in my opinion, overly weighted towards the euro. However, it does paint a pretty ugly picture for the dollar. It's just been dropping and dropping and dropping. And, if we continue to print, obviously, since we're talking about commodity currencies today, this is going to have a big impact on currencies, period. There's many in this show who watch the show, including myself, who are looking at this going, boy, it looks to me like if we can get below some of these levels that we established back in January, which is going to be right around 89.20, if we get below that, then it looks like could potentially be a big move down here on this dollar index. Does that factor into yours thing, or you still just who cares?
Yeah, no, the dollar's the scary one for me because I feel like it's it's kind of I think it's in a little bit more of a holding pattern. It's been pretty choppy across most of the currencies, and I think they're just waiting for the next catalyst. I think non-farm payroll is going to be big. Will be big for the dollar. I think we're not going to really see any real moves the rest of the week for the dollar until Friday. But the Fed has said that they were going to let inflation run hot.
Yeah.
So, and if they're going to let inflation run hot, then they're already kind of doing that, I feel. But I feel like, the dollar could still have legs to go lower. You're going to get, until that taper word comes, I think that probably is the direction for the dollar. Mm-hmm. It just makes me, I'm just a little bit more cautious around it because it has been a little bit, it's been choppy. This year has not been, it's not been easy to trade dollar pairs. A lot of the dollar pairs have been just kind of up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks.
Well, nothing runs forever. There's always those price fluctations.
Yeah.
Asking if the recession's going to be recorded by Odin. I'm not sure if it's going to be recorded. I don't know. I'm not on that side of things. I can find out for you.
You talking about the symposium?
Yeah.
I believe it's not.
Okay. But if I think that there's talk about if there's enough, if so many people want it, they can't get in. I think that they'll potentially do another one of these things. Let's see. What else do I got? Soft yield curve controlled. Yes, we are seeing Batista yield curve manipulation. That's for sure. Randall says, why is salami at $15 a pound? Yeah. I posted a graphic the other day, which I really enjoyed, which was showing candy bars. And just between 2014 and 18, most of those candy bars dropped by about 20% in volume. So if it was 180 grams, all of a sudden now it's like 150 gram candy bar. It's like, it looks the same. It's just smaller contents and the price stays the same. So according to CPI and PPI and all these things, there's no inflation because this goods, which was a candy bar, stayed the same price, but you're getting less. Like, what is it called? Sizeflation or something like that.
Unbelievable.
You're stealing my stuff. Don't get me started on my red stripe.
Isn't the Mars bar guy like one of the richest people on the planet too?
Who?
Mars family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they'll make even more money by stealing our candy bar supplies. All right, David, tell me a little bit about your you do a signature series as well. Are you doing exclusively signature series now, or are you also teaching Forex class outright?
Doing some Forex classes. I've been, I like the signature Forex class. I don't know if I'm just going to bring it up. Who knows where I'll go with it. But I started kind of trying to work on creating a possible signature class that's not going to be currencies. It's going to be price-based, but it will be on other markets. So we'll see if I can get that up and running.
The housing market in New York, is that what's going to be on?
Yes. Well,
how to ride a crashing market.
How to ride a crashing market. And but like mostly I like the signature stuff. I do the 5-day Forex stuff, but I'm doing a signature class right now, signature 3-day Forex class, and I'm doing actually a 5-day Forex class in Brooklyn next week.
Oh, in center, physical location?
Yeah, in center.
Awesome.
In the Brooklyn, New York area, right?
Well, I'm hoping that it's a somber crowd in Brooklyn next week, as I'm just hoping that the Nets lose as soon as possible in the playoffs. I can't stand them.
Come on,
you store bought a team. You've got one of the cockiest, most arrogant players in Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving.
What basketball is?
Get out of here.
Yeah. Anyways, I just looked at the Mars bars guys. They're worth $90 billion. Jacqueline and John, 31 and 32 on the list of richest people in the world.
They need to cut back on the amount of chocolate I'm eating so they can make more money. I love it. No inflation,
$90 billion selling candy bars. Not a bad life.
Not a bad life. They probably own a dentist company or two as well.
Yeah, right?
All right. Anything else you want to go over? I mean, we talked about your signature series, got commodity currencies. Anybody got any open questions for David or myself as we wrap up here? Or you got anything exciting going on? Any travel plans?
Man, I'm just looking forward to this symposium. I hope everybody has an opportunity to attend that. But I just spent some time in Texas helping my daughter get into a new apartment for college, and I hope to be in California there pretty soon. But mostly here in Texas.
All right.
Good.
Cool. Yeah. All right, David. Well, hey, man, thank you so much. As always, love having you on. I look forward to our conversations on Friday. Should be an exciting one. Let's burst that bubble on Friday's action.
All right. Sounds good, man.
All right. Thank you so much. Take care, man.
Good to see you, buddy.
All right. Guys, that was David Warner talking about commodity currencies. We will be doing a symposium on Friday. Again, that's going to be with Sean Reed. It's going to be with David Warner, Bob Dunn, Jeff Manson, and Bashir Chaya. Poor Bashir, that's going to be like the wee hours of the morning since he's on the other side of the world, but should be a great time. Looking forward to that one. Anytime I have an opportunity to work with these guys, especially we're going to start that off with more of a panel discussion with all of us kind of chiming in on specific topics. So really excited about that one. Hopefully we'll get to see you guys there. What Tom says, complaining about Laker County buying rings. I don't like the Lakers. I'm a Warriors fan, and we drafted our picks. We didn't buy them. All of our picks were drafted. So boom, except Kevin Durant when he was there, and he can just go bye-bye. I don't like Kevin Durant, especially his little tirade on social media. You gotta potentially act like an adult, and some of his little rants just like a kid. Hockey is a Dutch game. I love hockey, by the way. Honestly, this is one of the best times of year because you get hockey playoffs and basketball playoffs. It's just awesome every single day. All right, what else do I got? I see no symposium registration link in the email. It shows up in my OTA, and I'm guessing there will be an attend link on Friday morning. Tom, I'm not sure about that. I don't do any of the sending out of materials, so I don't know that. All I know is I'm going to be tasked with kind of hosting this thing, so it should be entertainment. No registration needed? Okay. I thought there was a registration link, but if it's in your My OTA, then you should have access to it. All right, what did I have else for you guys today? We could talk about this one briefly. Here is AMC. So there was, obviously, when this happens, I get a bunch of comments and questions from people saying, what would you do? I wouldn't touch it. It's kind of funny. There's a guy, I won't mention any names, 2 days ago, he's boasting about how he's buying puts on AMC. And I'll do this on a daily. And he's buying puts, and I go, are you serious? You're buying puts when the premium is so elevated. I'll zoom in here so you guys can see when that was, just so we can take out today's trading action. And it was right there. So you're telling me that you would like to buy puts after this thing has gone from $12 to $37 in a period of 4 days. You know that the premiums are off the charts inflated, and you're buying puts? I mean, you could be right that AMC may have dropped, but you could still have lost money because you paid so much premium. So I was giving the guy a hard time. He's like, oh, buying puts. I'm like, you're crazy when the premium is so expensive. And then I responded to him today. As you can see what happened with AMC. On his page, he's just boasting about how much AMC he bought and how much money he made on AMC. And I'm like, dude, didn't you just say 2 days ago that you were talking about, you were buying puts on AMC? I'd like to see some real trading accounts here. Anyway, let's see. So AMC. If you're interested in it, I would just say stay away. I know a lot of these people are saying it's going to go to the moon. People are saying it's going to $100. It could very well, but let's be honest. Are movie theaters doing for American society what railroad cars did for transportation and distribution? Are they doing what the automotive did since the improvements on the horse and buggy? No, it's a movie theater. People aren't flocking to the movie theaters in packed houses to watch new movies. It's not happening. Are they opening up? Yes, great. But warranting a move like this? No. This is just the short squeeze and the power of social media groups to pump things up. Don't get caught in the hype. I'd much rather see you guys make a living or make money by finding patterns that don't look like this or the GME or GameStop. By the way, GameStop has earnings, which we'll talk about here in a second. At least this one slowed down a little bit. I'm really surprised to see it back up near 300. I kind of felt we'd see this thing drift down and drift and drift and drift. But nope, still got some legs underneath it apparently as the meme stocks keep on pumping it to the north side. Yeah, AMC and GME are the next Bitcoin. Yeah, they're changing the world. Les says, can we ask questions during the symposium? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Just keep it clean and don't get antagonistic. Got in early on 1,000. Getting only 1,000. Yeah, I'm not sure, Shadow One, how many are in there. I know that the room does have a limit, a cap. It's of concern. If people don't get in, we'll probably just do another one. No big deal. Yes, I'm hoping my connection is fast as well. Oh boy, Brendan. What else do I got? Cool. All right, let me go to what we have for tomorrow's session. I kind of sneak peeked that one to you guys here just a second ago. Here is what's happening for mañana. Earnings-wise, you have Lululemon reporting earnings, and I think GameStop is next week. I'm sorry, not tomorrow. You have Lululemon, you have Broadcom, Five Below, Sienna Corporation, and Plug Power reporting earnings. Although Plug has not given us a definitive time, you can see on the right-hand side, AMC is after market close, BMO is before market open. So there you go. Now, on the economic front, there is some decent stuff happening tomorrow. Obviously, unemployment claims are probably the major news announcement. You have ADP non-farm employment change for the U.S., non-farm productivity and unit labor cost, as well as services, manufacturing PMI, natural gas storage, and then crude oil inventories. You also, long-winded one, you have multiple people reporting or speaking on behalf of the Fed. That's going to happen, I believe, at 9:30 as the market opens. So be careful as the opening bell hits. If you're trading anything else, the European Union has a lot of services PMI data. That's actually coming for France, for Germany, Italy, but that's all before 1 a.m. At 1 a.m. is when the euro announces their number as a whole, which is expected to increase just slightly on services PMI, and then the British pound is shortly after that. Okay, that is pretty much everything that I've got to cover here. Let's see, were there any last minute questions? Movie theaters are so old-fashioned, 1960s. I even today, I believe, like many of you, I'm looking at what's going on with regard to COVID, and not to shed any light on any of it or make it look like it wasn't anything, but it does seem like it was blown out of proportion. I went out this weekend. Actually, I went to a trivia night yesterday, and that place was just packed wall to wall. It's been packed in most of the places I go to, and I'm not hearing one word about a spike or a surge in COVID cases. They even took down the testing sites that were at the fairgrounds. There's these huge testing sites they used to have there. They're all gone. And it seems to me that if you're just opening up after this type of quarantine, you'd want to keep those up just in case all of a sudden there's a big surge. Haven't really heard anything about that, and I don't know. It seems a bit fishy here, but we won't make this a political show. Okay, that's going to do it for me, guys. I don't have a guest for, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be guest-free, potentially. I may actually try to get a guest for Friday, but I'll keep that one as a surprise right now. But right now, I don't have any specific guests. If you have a topic that you want me to discuss, you can email me at TraderMerlin@gmail.com. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me. Of course, we are doing a challenge for the month of June. If you would like to participate, send me what you want to add to your challenge list. And again, this is about making your lives better. It's nothing to do with me. I'm just going to try to help you achieve whatever goal it is that you want to achieve, whether that's getting better at your trading, whether it's getting healthier, whether it's eating right, whatever. Let me know what that challenge is, and hopefully we will get you all to the promised land. Okay, that's going to do it for me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Again, I hope to see you on Friday with David Warner, Bashir Chaya, Jeff Manson, Bob Dunn, and Sean Reed. It's going to be a pretty interesting one, not just from the bubble perspective, but to get each one of their own personal takes on how they're tailoring their style to a bubblicious type of market. Should be a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.